Today we are going to study the sterility or test for sterility. In this, we are going to determine that whether the product that we have prepared is sterile or not. Now, this test is applicable for any product which, according to pharmacopoeia, should be sterile in nature. Okay. So, whenever pharmacopoeia says that this product should be sterile in nature, okay, for each and every such product, this test for sterility is been applicable. So it may be ointment, it may be parenteral preparation, it may be implants, or it may be any other product which according to pharmacopoeia should be sterile. For all these products, including your parenteral products for which we are studying, okay, this test for sterility is applicable. Okay, now, yes, any problem? Okay. Now, this test for sterility has some restriction. Okay. This test for sterility gives satisfactory results. Okay. Only if the viable microorganisms are found in the sample examined. Okay. And it does not mean that if no sample, if the contamination is not found, if the products are found sterile or no contamination is found, okay, then it does mean that all other products are also sterile or all other products does not contain any contamination. Okay, this limitation is basically because of the random sampling that we do. We are not going to evaluate each and every what you call that container for the test for sterility. We are going to take some samples, which are going to see further that how many number of samples we are going to take. Okay, as the number of sampling is limited, that's why there is a restriction to this test for sterility. Okay, right? Now, if you take an example of sampling, if the number of microorganisms that are present inside the sample are large, okay, the number of microorganisms that are present inside the samples are large. It means what? Many samples of the batch. So you have a batch of, say, supposing 100, okay, or say 1000, and out of 1000, if 500 of the samples are contaminated, okay, so large number of samples are contaminated, then the probability of detecting these contamination in sterility test is very high. Vice versa, if out of, say, 1000, only say 5 containers, okay, are non-sterile in nature, are contaminated, then the chances of detecting these microorganisms by this test of sterility, okay, becomes very less, isn't it? The probability of detecting these contamination, okay, microbial contamination, now becomes less. Okay, in this case it becomes very less because very less number of containers are being contaminated. And while sampling, it is possible that you may miss these containers, okay, which are contaminated, and you may take other containers out of 995. So there are 995 containers that are remaining, and you may choose the containers from this 995. That is why, okay, the probability of detection these microorganisms in these containers becomes very less. Also, you have to remember that if the contamination is not uniform, okay, throughout the lot, then also it becomes very uncertain. That is, you have a batch, right? In a batch there are few containers, okay, which were manufactured for certain period of time. Those in a group, okay, are contaminated, and those are packed in a box. So what you are going to do usually, if there are many boxes that are there of your ampules, then you are going to take one from this, you are going to take one from this, you are going to take one from the other box, isn't it? So if the contamination is not uniform throughout the lot, then also the detection becomes very difficult. So that is a limitation for this test for sterility. So it is applicable to all the products according to pharmacopoeia which needs to be sterile. Okay, it is restricted to the samples. So we can say that the test for sterility is passing because these samples under test are sterile in nature. If there is some problem in the sampling because you are doing random sampling And in random sampling, if there are very large containers which have been affected, then the probability is large. Okay. If there are very less containers that have been affected, okay, then the probability is very less, right? That's why it is very importance of GMP is very much over there. So passing the test for sterility does not only guarantee, okay, absolute freedom of microbial contamination, but in order to have your product sterile in nature, okay, apart from the test of sterility that you are carrying out, the main important thing that you have to remember is that you have to follow the GMP procedure. Whatever facilities, etc., we have given earlier, okay, those all conditions, okay, should be followed. Okay, GMP, good manufacturing practices, should be followed so that your final product remains sterile in nature. Okay, so only passing the test of sterility is not going to help. In order to achieve nice good sterility, basically you have to build that sterility inside your product, and you can build the product, you can build the sterility inside product only and only by following the GMP. Okay, moving ahead. Now, how many we have said that we are going to do random sampling. We are not going to use each and every container. Like for example, in tablet also there is a batch of near about 8 lakh tablets. In that 8 lakh tablet batch, you are taking some few 6 tablets for disintegration, isn't it? If those fail, then you are going to take further 12 tablets for disintegration. So in such a big batch, you are just taking few tablets. In the similar manner, for parentals also, you are going to take few containers. So what are the number of containers that you are going to select? Okay, that we are going to study over here. Now, if the parental preparation contains not more than 100 containers, okay, it is containing not more than 100 containers. So it is containing between 1 to 100. Okay, so these are the number of containers. So if these are the numbers of containers, then how much you are going to take? You are going to take 10%. Just for an example, if there are 90 containers, then you are going to take how much? Then you are going to take 9 containers. So 10% containers you are going to take between 1 to 100. But there is another condition that, or you are going to select 4 containers, whichever is greater. So here 9 is greater than 4. So you are going to take 9 containers. But let us imagine 1 to 100, the number, the batch size, okay, the batch size that you have prepared is only of 20. Okay, if the batch size of 20, then according to the first condition, what was the condition? You are going to take 10%. So you will be choosing 2 containers, but no, you are not going to choose 2 containers. Okay, the minimum that you have to choose is 4. Okay, so you are going to, if it is 10, if it is 20, if it is 30, if it is 35, if it is 39, okay, of batch, then you are going to choose 4 containers, right? If I want to put it in other words, batch size between say 10, say what do you call that, or say 5 to say 39, then the number of containers that I'm going to choose is 4, right? And if I have a batch size from say 40 to I have the batch size up to 100, then I'm going to take near about 10% of the containers. So if it is 90, then I'm going to choose 9 containers. If it is 20, then I'm not going to choose 2 containers, but I'm going to choose 4 containers, right? This is the for containers which are less than 100. If I am not more than 100. If I am having containers more than 100, so say 101 containers are there in the batch, okay, and they are not more than 500 containers, okay, so that is up to 500 containers. If this is the condition of my batch, right, so these many containers I have prepared in the batch, then it is very simple. I have to choose 10 containers. Okay, nothing fussy about it. Moving ahead, if I have more than 500 containers, so if I have say 501 to maybe 1 lakh container also, just imagine. Okay, these many are the parental preparation that have been manufactured. Okay, maybe ampule, maybe vial, okay, maybe reconstituted solids. Okay, so these are being manufactured, right? In that case, what is the condition? You are going to take 2% or you are going to take maximum of 20 containers, whichever is less that you are going to select. Just for an example, above 500, I have taken an example of 1500. So you have 1500 containers. Okay. So 1500 containers का 2% कितना हो जाएगा? It is going to become 30. But you are not going to take 30 containers, whichever is less. Okay. That you are going to take. So you are not going to take 30, you are going to take 20. Okay. If you have 550 containers, okay, then you are going to take what? You are going to take only 2%. You are going to take whichever is less, please remember. So 550, then you are going to choose only 11 containers, and you are not going to choose 20 containers. I hope you are understanding what I am trying to say. I'm just trying to decode whatever is the condition that has been given by them. Then for large volume containers, again it is 2% or 20, whatever is less. So whatever is the earlier condition over here, the same condition has been followed over here. So the same example applies over here also, right? If it is an ophthalmic product, okay, ophthalmic products also required to be sterile in nature, okay, or it is some other non-parental ophthalmic product, okay, any other non-parental preparation is there, okay, in that case which you want to be sterile in nature, okay, in that case, if the number of containers are not more than 200, so it is between 1 to 200 are the number of containers, then how much you are going to take? You are going to take 5% or containers, whichever is greater. So if there are 100 containers, then you are going to take 5 containers, that is 5%, right? Between 1 to 200, I have taken 100 containers. So if there are 100 containers, you are going to take 5 containers, because it is what? 5. Okay. And if there are 20 containers, okay, उसका 5% कितना हो जाता है? 1 हो जाता है. But you are not going to take one container. You are going, in that case, you are going to take 2 container, because 2 container is whichever is greater you are going to take. 5% कम हो रहा है, 1 ही हो रहा है 20 का. So you are not going to take 5%. In this case, you have to take 2 containers, okay, which is mentioned over here. If it is more than 200 containers, 200 के above कितने भी containers आपने manufacture किए उस batch में, then you are going to take 10 containers. This is don't worry about these figures. If you are finding it using, don't worry. It is just that you have to just you have to remember, अगर आपको you have to write down a big answer on sterility, just you have to remember that you have to if you are giving GATE examination, then yes, GPAT examination you have to score very high, then you have to remember these figures, okay. These whatever conditions are given have to be remembered. But for a normal examination, you just remember that you have to choose the number of containers, or you have to sample the number of containers that are given as per your IP, okay. So your monograph gives you the number of containers that are to be removed from the batch. That many number of containers you have to remove from the batch, okay. You have to sample from the batch, you have to do random sampling, and these containers now you have to use for the further test, for the test for sterility, which we are going to carry out, okay. Now in order to carry out this test for sterility, it is a microbiological test for some culture. So which are the cultures that have been given, okay, which are the cultures that you have to use? You can use fluid thioglycolate medium, you can use alternative thioglycolate, use soil digest medium. Now how to prepare this medium, what are these mediums, okay, everything you have already studied in microbiology last year, okay. Satish sir must have taught you very nicely, I know, okay. So this you have already studied last year, okay. But even if you want to see the formula, if you want to see the method of preparation, okay, then you have to refer IP, the notes which I have already circulated to you yesterday, okay. The notes of sterility, okay, which I have studied circulated yesterday. In that you'll find out the formulation, you'll find out the method of preparation, okay, right. Just to tell you the few things which are important from your further test point of view. Now, fluid thioglycolate medium, this is basically used for clear fluid products. Your alternative medium, it is used for turbid and viscous product and viscid products. And your soybean casein digest medium, they are used for both fungi and anaerobic bacteria, okay. Whereas fluid thioglycolate medium, it is intended for anaerobic bacteria. It can also detect aerobic bacteria. Okay. When you are using fluid coagulated, then you have to incubate it at 30 to 35 degrees Celsius. Even your alternative thioglycolic medium has to be incubated at 30 to 35 degrees Celsius, whereas your soybean casein medium has to be incubated at 20 to 25 degrees Celsius, right? As I told you, this is for anaerobic bacteria as well as it is for aerobic bacteria. Okay. Your alternative thioglycolic medium, okay, is basically used for as an anaerobic condition, and also your soybean casein digest medium is also anaerobic condition you have to maintain. Okay, moving ahead, this is about the culture. The thing you have to remember over here, there are three culture medium that have been given, for which you have to the three culture medium are fluid thioglycolic medium, your alternate thioglycolic medium, and your soybean casein digest medium. So these are the used in order to carry out the test for sterility. Moving ahead, there are two test procedure. You have method A, which is for membrane filtration method, which is known as the membrane filtration method, and you have method B, which is the direct inoculation method. Okay. Again, method A is used for your oils. It is used for ointments that can be put into solution. It is used for non-bacteriostatic solids. Okay, which which are not readily soluble in your culture medium. It is used for soluble powders or liquids that possesses any bacteriostatic or fungistatic property. It is also used for liquid product where the volume of container is 100 ml or more. Whereas your method B, okay, that is a direct inoculation method, is used for aqueous solutions or suspensions or oils or oily solutions, for ointments, for creams, for solids, for surgical dressings, okay, or for sterile devices. Okay, so two methods which are used for different products. Let us see the first method. Okay, that is the first method is the membrane filtration method. Method A is membrane filtration method. In this, what you do is you take a membrane which is having a pore size of not greater than 0.45 micron, and which is having, this membrane is having a diameter of approximately 50 mm. So this kind of a membrane you are going to take. You are going to take your sample. Okay, the number of samples are the number of samples are already been mentioned to you, right? And the quantity we are going to see after your two slides. So how much quantity you have to take, that also has been given. Okay, so you are going to take your sample. You are going to filter those sample through the membrane filter which I have taken over here, right? Hence it is known as the membrane filtration method, because you are passing you're passing your sample, okay, which is under test, which are carrying out the test for sterility, okay, through the membrane filter. This filtration is vacuum assisted, so you apply vacuum and whereby you withdraw all the contents, okay, from it. Now what has happened is, after filtration, now if there were some microorganisms, they have now come onto your filter. So this was the filter, right? This was your filter paper, membrane filter. On this metal membrane filter, you have put your sample. Filtration has been carried out. Now, if there were any microbes, they would be coming over here, right? Isn't it? Now you have to check whether these microbes are here or not. So what you are going to do now, you are going to cut this filter paper, okay, membrane filter, sorry, into two halves. Okay, after that, cutting them into two halves, one of the halves you are going to place it into fluid thioglycolate medium. Okay, so the test tube containing fluid thioglycolate medium, in that one half you are going to place. The second half you are going to place into the medium. हमने पहले culture medium, you have seen how we have prepared the culture medium, right? In the second culture medium, that is soybean casein digest medium, you are going to put your other half. If microbes are present, you are going to these microbes are going to grow, isn't it? In order for the microbes to grow, what you have to do is you have to incubate it. So you are going to incubate the media. You are going to give a favorable condition for the microbes to grow. So you are going to incubate the media, and this incubation is going to carry out for 14 days. Okay, not less than 14 days, you are going to incubate it. During this 14 days, what you are going to do is you are going to examine the product microscopically at regular intervals, maybe every day, maybe after every 6 hours, maybe after every 2 days, you are going to continuously go on monitoring that product, okay, the media, and you are going to check whether there is any growth of microorganism in that media. If there is growth for microorganisms, then you are going to say that your product, okay, which you are deemed to be sterilized, is not sterile in nature, but it is contaminated and it is not fit to be given to the patient. Got it? Okay. This is how you are going to test whether your method A, in order to determine whether your product that you have manufactured after taking so much of effort, that is following GMP, following those, giving all the facilities, airlock system, uniform, etc. Everything he has done. You have carried out the sterilization method. You have used different sterilization methods. Okay, and you try to prepare the product to be sterile in nature. Now you are testing whether the product which I was intending to make sterile, whether it is now sterile or not. For that, what you have done, you have taken a membrane filter. From that, the number of samples which are given in IP, you have filtered through it. Then you have cut it into two halves. You have prepared your fluid thioglycolate medium and soybean casein digest medium, which was given as per IP. In that, you have, in those test tubes, you have put half of the membrane, right? And then you incubated it, and then you have checked the microbial growth, right? So this is the first method, method A, that is the membrane filtration method. The second method is nothing but the direct inoculation method. In direct inoculation method, what you do is, you don't do any filtration, etc. Nothing you do. You directly take the volume that is been mentioned in IP. So you take the samples. From that samples, you withdraw the volumes. Okay, you withdraw the contents, and from that content, whatever is the required volume, which is mentioned in my next slide, whatever is the required volume, you directly put it into the two tanks containing your fluid thioglycolate and soybean casein digest medium. So here you don't carry out the filtration and then cut that filter, and that filter paper you put over here. No, you directly put the sample into this two media. Okay. The care that you have to take is that the volume of preparation, whatever volume that you are adding, okay, is not more than 10% of the volume of the media. Okay. So the volume of preparation should not be greater, okay, by 10% to the volume of the media. That care you have to take. Okay. And then what you have to do is, again, like you have incubated your earlier samples, okay, in the same your earlier culture media in method A, in the similar manner you are going to incubate your culture media, these two culture media, which are now containing the samples, okay, that are under the test for not less than 14 days. And in the similar manner, like you have examined your sample, in the similar manner for method A, in the similar manner you are going to examine your samples for the growth of any microorganism. Now we have talked about that you have to inoculate the required volume. So what is this required volume? Okay, so minimum quantity to be used in each media. How much is the volume that you have to use? If it is liquids and the container is of 1 ml or less than 1 ml, okay, the quantity per container is less than 1 ml, then you have to put the whole content of each container. Got it? If it is inside the media, okay, so number of samples we have already seen. All this, you have to open it, you have to put it in the media, you have to incubate it. The second number, you have to again open it, you have to put the whole content in the media, and you have to incubate it, because the quantity is very less, that is just 1 ml. If the quantity is between 1 to 40 ml, then what you have to do is, you have to take half the content, okay, but it should not be less than 1 ml. Supposing 1 to 40 में आपका 2 ml भी आता है, तो 1.5 ml भी आ जाता है, just for an example. Then if you are saying half the content, then it becomes near about 0.75 ml. So not that. Okay. So it should not be less than 1 ml. 1 ml should be there. That is over here. So it should be 1 ml or more than 1 ml, but it should be half the content. So if it is 20 ml, then how much you have to take? You have to take 10 ml, and you have to put that 10 ml into this into your media. Okay. Then if it is greater than 40, and but not greater than 100 ml. It is between 40 to 100 ml, then you have to take 20 ml. If it is greater than 100 ml, then you have to take 10%. Okay, but it should not be less than 20 ml. And if they are antibiotic liquid, then you have to take 1 ml.